Okay, I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on Pixlr. You're going to be building Mr. Potato Head today out of some images that I've given you on Canvas. So first thing you need to do is create a blank document to build your potato head on. So you'll hit Create New, and then just click this first option, Title. The name of your assignment, and then let's switch these. So we want the width to be 600 and the height to be 800, and then hit create. So this is your blank document. You're going to build everything on top of it. So this first tool right here, this is your toolbar, which you labeled yesterday. The toolbar is important because that's how you do everything in this program. So the first one is your move tool or arrange tool. If you let your cursor hover on it, it will tell you what exactly it does. This is a selection tool. You have a few different selection tools to choose from. This one's rectangular, this one is elliptical, and it will either allow you to select a square or a circle. The mode right here, so this will make a new selection. This will add, so if I change it to this, I can add, and it now combines my selections together. Or, sorry, my mouse has a mind of its own. Or you can remove, so if I wanted to remove part of the selection, I could use that tool. And this works with all of your selection tools, which is what you'll be using today. The next one down is the lasso tool. You have a regular or free lasso, the polygonal lasso, or a magnetic lasso, and I'll show you how those work once I get a picture in here. The next one down is the magic wand, which you will use a lot today, and it has those same modes, adding or minusing or creating a new selection. So let's get a picture open first. The first one we're going to open is the potato. So if you haven't already done this step, you need to go to Canvas, and go to your digital photo course and download the potato head files. So they are right here under Mr. Potato Head. And then you can click on this zip folder. So once that's downloaded, you have access to a bunch of different images. You'll choose what you want to use, but everyone needs to at least start with a potato head so they can follow along with me as I give instruction. Okay, so let's go back to Pixlr, and we're going to open the potato. So to open, just do File, Open an Image, and I'll go to my downloads, which is where the folder is, and click on here. And then this is showing you what you need to have: a hat, eyes, nose, ears, mouth, and use the bow tie pasta somewhere. It doesn't have to be a bow tie, it could be a bow in the hair, it could be bow earrings, anything, but I want you to use that one as well. So let's click on the potato and open it. Here we have our potato. If you look here, our blank document, these tabs will allow you to navigate back and forth between two different documents inside the program. So what I want to do here is use a selection tool to select my potato. So essentially I'm cutting out the potato and leaving the white background. But in Photoshop, that's called selecting something, and in Pixlr, the same thing. So to do that, you will use one of your selection tools right here. So if I clicked on the rectangle one, that's not going to work because, well, it's only going to make a rectangular selection or a marquee selection. So the cool thing about the magic wand is it picks things that are the same color. So you notice I just clicked on the white background, and now everything but the potato is selected. So if I right click, I can now invert the selection, which means basically tell it to select the opposite of what's selected right now. and click that. And now my potato is selected. That was pretty simple. Anytime you have something on a white background, most of the time you can do this as long as there's not any complicated edges. So now all we have to do is go to edit and copy, and then we're going to paste it on here. So to get rid of the dots, these are called marching ants. So anytime you hear me say marching ants, that's what I'm referring to. You push Command or Control D, depending on if you have a Windows or a Mac computer, to clear those lines. And now we can go edit and paste, or you can push Control V, which is what I do because it's a little quicker than coming up here and clicking. So I'm going to hit paste, and we'll say yes, we want to allow Pixlr. Okay, so now we have our potato on here. We can then resize our potato by clicking at the corner and dragging back and forth. We can come to this dot and click and rotate it around, which will come in handy when you start getting more things on your document. So make sure you leave room around the edges to add stuff to it. So I'm gonna leave my potato about that big. So now we have our potato selected. So then let's say we want to now open another image. So File, Open Image. And let's say I want to use this watermelon for the mouth, but I don't want to use the whole picture. I just want the cut part of the watermelon. So I'm going to zoom in, and that's Control or Command plus on your keyboard so that you can see. You can also use this tool right here, but I like to use your keyboard shortcuts. So then same thing, we want to select just this. So this time I'm actually going to use what's called the magnetic lasso. It acts like a magnet and it hugs to the edges of something. So as I start here and I click and go around, and this is a little different in Photoshop. In Photoshop it creates nice little anchors for you. So we'll see how well this tool works in Pixlr. Like you guys, I'm learning to use this program instead of Photoshop, which is my go-to. So it did an okay job. Not my favorite. A little bit better in Photoshop. So we're going to clean up these edges by using the freehand marquee and saying minus from selection. So if I want to draw around, I can say I want to minus this. Oh, actually we could use the polygonal. It makes straight lines, so let's say minus. We're going to go across. Oh, sorry. If you ever need to take a step back or undo something, Command Z or Control Z will be your best friend. So right there I messed up and I just hit Command Z or Control Z if you're on a Windows computer. So now I can kind of clean up that straight edge. I'm going to add this little teeny piece back to my selection. And down here I'm going to minus this from my selection and minus this. I want you to try and select these the best you can. Obviously this tool isn't my favorite, and we don't have a quick selection tool in here. So there's a few differences, but it'll work. I'm not going to be a huge perfectionist. Command Z, Command Z, Command Z. Just undid that. I accidentally clicked wrong and got rid of my selection, so Command Z brought it back, or if you forget Command Z, do Edit Undo. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, and that would be how you select part of a picture but not the whole thing. Move it to my potato head and do paste. I hit Command V, or you can do paste here. So now I can move my watermelon as the mouth. Now if you notice over here, this is our layers panel, and every time I add a layer, it creates a new, or every time I add an object, it creates a new layer for me. That way, if I wanted something to sit behind another thing, I could move these layers back and forth. Whatever is on top will be the most visible. So let's open one more image, and then you'll essentially just keep doing the same thing until your potato head is done. So let's do, let's say I want to use the orange for my ears. So I'm going to open this one up. I'm going to use my magic wand and click on the white, right click and hit select inverse. So now I have my orange selected. Command copy or Command C and Command V to paste. So I want to use part of the orange as my ear, but not the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is drag this one down below the potato layer so that it hides it behind it. And then I want one that's the exact same size. So I'm going to come over here and duplicate a layer so I can make a copy of that layer and then move it over here. So you'll continue doing the same thing and create your potato head. So I'll go open another image. I'm going to click on the bow tie. Maybe I want to use the mushroom too. To select more than one, just hold down Shift and click, or Control and click on the other ones you want, and then we'll open it up here. This is a good example right here where it didn't select this part of the mushroom because it's really close to the color white. So what we can do is change our tolerance, which means how picky this selection is going to be. So if I do that, now it's going to be even pickier about the white that is selected. And then I'm going to paste, whoops, I missed a step. So select inverse, copy, go here and paste. And then I want this to sit behind as well so that it's like a hat. So we'll move that there. Okay, really this is teaching you how to use layers and how to use these selection tools. Every time you move something or want to resize it, make sure you have this first tool selected so that you can resize or move things around. Okay, your requirements are right here. You need to have a hat, eyes, nose, ears, or mouth. If you want hair instead of a hat, that's fine. And then use the bow tie pasta somehow. So that's what you'll be doing for this assignment. When you're ready to save it and upload it, go to File and click on Save. Make sure it's named. You can save it as a PNG or a JPEG. Either will upload. If you do a JPEG, it will give you a white background. A PNG will keep this transparent, so when you place it somewhere, it won't have any background, and that would be the difference between the two. When you're ready to save it, it will actually ask you to download it, and then it downloads it straight to your computer for you, so that you can then go to Canvas and upload this file to your assignment. If you have questions, get confused, make sure you watch the video. You can pause, record, or rewind and replay it. But if you get stuck or need help, let me know. And if you're not sure how to get on Pixlr, go back to my announcement from yesterday, and that will explain how to do that. Hope you're all doing well.